Peace. And now tuned into another live show of the Black Ball Sports Podcast. What up to all the good folks out there? I got my co-host Sam Matt in the building today.
What up?
What's good? What's good?
Chilling, man. Calm before the storm. This is about probably the most chill I'm gonna be for the rest of the night. You know what I mean? A couple hours, we're gonna get it on with the Bears, man. I'm very excited. I had tickets and I was hoping that I sold them shits because I didn't want to go to DC tonight, and I was a day away from going. But luckily, I sold them tickets, man, and I'll be enjoying it from the confines of the crib and looking forward to it, man. But how you doing, brother? How was your Monday?
Oh, good, man. Yeah, that's actually becoming a nice little rivalry for y'all. You know, y'all playing them every year now, and it's a lot of chatter going back and forth. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because now do I want to win this game? Do I feel like it's a little bit of a rivalry now because of the years we played? Yeah, but I think it's more so. And you know what? It's crazy because I've been listening. I haven't talked to any Bears fans, but a lot of the old school Bears fans, right, that grew up in the 80s with the Mike Ditka days when they were good. And they were saying a lot of their rivalries growing up with the 49ers and the Redskins because of obviously what they did in the 80s. So now that we've kind of came back to relevancy over the last few years, they've kind of been excited to pick that rivalry up. Now, a lot of the new school kids or people are just mad because they picked Caleb Williams number one. We picked Jaden Daniels number two. Jaden Daniels had a better year, and then they seem to have been just trying to cope and just kind of make it a point of they got the better quarterback. And it's like, who gives a damn who got the better quarterback? Y'all finally got a quarterback. You haven't had a quarterback ever. We finally got a quarterback. We haven't had a quarterback ever. Why can't we both just enjoy the quarterbacks we have and go out there and rock and do our thing? But it's the age of Twitter, man, and Chicago Bears ain't the only one. We do it, and everybody else do it, to where they just have to compare. And you can't have a good quarterback without your quarterback being ass, or we have to do one without the other. It's stupid, but it is a rivalry. More so, I think, with the fans and actually the players. It don't seem like we actually give a damn about any type of rivalry. We trying to go in there and stack another win, man, and try to stay on course of doing what we want to do. But as far as the fans are concerned, oh yeah, we want this one bad. We don't like the Bears at all. I fucking hate the Bears. I don't like them at all. And they never used to be like that. But last couple of years, fuck them.
Yeah, it got a lot to do with the quarterbacks and whatnot, and it's turned out to be a pretty decent quarterback. Draft fair. Drake May's playing well.
Yep.
Bo Nix is playing. Pretty decent. All that. So obviously, Jaden Daniels NFC Championship, and McCarthy's iffy. I think he was in that same draft class.
Yep, he was.
You know what I mean? But it's turned out to be at least three of them. Drake May's playing lights out, but you already seen it with him. It's still early, but he has all the mechanics, to be a great quarterback, especially what they want,
right?
So-called quarterback. So
I was honestly like when we were number 2 in the draft, and it was between Jaden Daniels and Drake May. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like for a little bit, I was wanting Drake May over Jaden Daniels. And then the more I watched and the more I listened, I'm like, man, first off, I want this brother on my team. No disrespect to Drake May, because I would have liked him if he was on our squad. And he would have been on our squad. It was what it was. But it was just something about Jay. And it was like, nah, he needed to be in DC. And I think we made the right pick for sure. And I think that Drake May in New England is the right pick for them. So salute.
Yeah, and even with the Bears quarterback, whatever, I think the first year this came down to the better system, the better team, the better what they put around him.
Yep.
I don't think Jaden Daniels would have had a great year in Chicago. You know what I mean?
No.
What he went into, and you know what I mean? So
no, not at all. I mean, look at the chaos he went into. They fired the coach 5, 4, 6, 7 games in, and that's a lot of bullshit. Now Cam Ward out in Tennessee is about to deal with the same bullshit because these first round draft picks can't seem to keep a decent coach or a consistent coach in there for more than 6, 7 games without them being fired their first year. It's not even fair to these quarterbacks. But I like Caleb, man. He's a DC dude. He does wear his emotions on the sleeve a little bit. He can get rattled emotionally, which is like, okay, that's a little bit of a red flag, but I want to see him win. I want to see him succeed. And if he was on our team, I'd be happy as hell to have him. I mean, last year before the draft, I mean, who didn't want Caleb? It was a Caleb sweepstake. So we're not going to sit back and act like he's a bum now. Now, the dude was like that, and Chicago got a good one. But, hey, it's all about the environment, all about the coach, the coaching staff, and hopefully he can have something consistent with Ben Johnson. But as far as tonight, fuck them both. I want this win.
Now, what's up with last time I talked, I thought you said Terry was going to be back for this game, possibly.
Yeah.
So what's the? I haven't heard any updates or anything. So have you got any updates?
They're keeping this thing so tightly wrapped and so close to the vest. I can't honestly tell you what is the injury. Is it a hip flexor? Is it a quad? I'm not sure.
Right.
All signs did point to him looking good and maybe playing in this game. Once it got to like Wednesday, I know we talked on Monday. Once it got to like Wednesday or Thursday, I was like, Terry ain't playing, man. He ain't on the field. And then one time we did see him on the field, it didn't seem like he was at full speed. So I wasn't surprised to see him out. Who I was surprised, oh God, to see out was Noah Brown, because Noah Brown was out on the practice field. He looked like he was full speed. He was cutting good. He was running good. I don't know what happened, and then all of a sudden he was out. I was a little surprised about that. That's just been the story of his career since getting into the NFL. He's a great player, clutch player, but he can't stay on the field, and that's going to be his biggest downfall. And this will be his last year with us. I know that, because the brother cannot stay on the field. He wasn't on the field for training camp. He hasn't been on the field, and that's the one silver lining I would say with what's going on now with even Terry and Noah is that the offense has been so used to and had to kind of get used to not playing with them that we've had to kind of get some young players in there and start to step up and start getting them reps on the outside and little things. And they've kind of stepped up and shown that they can contribute in some kind of way. So at the very least, hopefully when they come back healthy, we have a nice little array of receivers in that room that can kind of do their thing. But right now, it's tough sledding, man. Hopefully we can rely on our run. I swear I thought Terry was going to play today. He's not. I'd rather see him healthy than not. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can right the ship another week and he can get back against Dallas next week, man. But yeah, he's no go tonight. Surprising to me, if you'd have asked me Tuesday, once Wednesday, Thursday came about, I knew he was just not ready yet.
Yeah, I mean, what's your outlook on the game? What do you fear most about the Bears? Because I feel like this could be a pretty. I feel like it could go either way. Honestly, depending on what team shows up. But I got the Commanders winning it. But I won't be surprised if they lose. But what's your path to victory?
For us, or my biggest fear of them losing, or us losing?
Both. Yeah, both.
All right. So my path of victory for us is we gotta dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides. They have a unrestricted or undrafted left tackle coming in. He ain't the best, but he's the best they got. So they got a gaping hole at left tackle. We got Dorrance Armstrong, who has 5 sacks on the year. I think he's like third in the NFL. We got to get after Caleb Williams. We got to get him rattled. We got to get at his feet. Got to get him off his spot. We got to get him. You know what I mean? He's 6'1", so we can't have him back there in the empty pocket being able to survey the land or buying time to do his thing. So getting after him is going to be number one when it comes to our defense, because I don't trust our secondary yet, whether in man or in zone, to hold up. The wide receiver group for the Bears is like that. You know what I mean? You got Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, you got Luther Burton, you got their tight ends. That their wide receiver and their special group is like that. You know what I mean? So if you give them time, they will dissect a secondary that's still trying to get their shit together. So I think that we need to dominate the line of scrimmage on offense or defense, and same thing on offense. You know what I mean? I think that they're 32nd, 31st in the league in rushing defense. We're number 1 in rushing defense. We're number 1 in rushing yards per attempt at like 7 yards attempt. They are the last in the NFL. So we got to dominate the line of scrimmage. We got to kill them with that run game. Take chances when we have to. And I think if we can get a couple 3-and-outs early on him and we can convert those into points and get that crowd involved on a Monday night, it could be a long night for Chicago. But if they stick around and it's a 3-point game going into the third or fourth quarter and we give them belief, it could go either way. But I think that if we dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides, because we don't really have any outside wide receivers, I think we'll be all right. We'll be cool in this game. If Caleb gets time and he can carve up our secondary and we can't run the ball, we'll be in trouble. But I think both things can happen. So, yeah, I hope it can. We'll see.
Yeah, I think y'all just can't get one-dimensional. Unless it's just pounding a rock and gashing them, then that's different. And then doing what you got to do. But, you know, I just don't see the Bears. First of all, I don't trust Caleb enough. You know what I mean? And like you said, that run defense is very, very shaky. Yeah. And bringing a running attack, a quarterback and a running back that you guys got, I just don't see the Bears being able to. You know, if they had a better defense, then I would say I'll probably pick the Bears. But that rushing defense, I just don't see it, man. I feel like Caleb is going to give you at least one interception. You know what I mean? He's reckless a lot of times. If he can play within a framework of the offense, he might be decent. You know what I mean? But if he's doing that off-schedule bullshit, making stupid-ass plays like that, he's going to cost the team. I think it'll probably end up coming out to who's going to turn the ball over, too. It might be that kind of game, too. So we'll see. It's another game on Buffalo and the Falcons. So some good games on, tonight to be kind of going back and forth, with. But so what's the what would you say your final score would be if you had to pick it?
I'm gonna be biased, man, but I think we scored 30 this game, 31-20 us, 31-20 us. I think that we get after them early. We run the ball. The weather's nasty. You know what I mean? I think that also favors us in our run game. You know what I mean? So I think that we make it nasty, make it muddy early, get a couple 3-and-outs, and hopefully we can get ahead of them early. They get a garbage score touchdown, but I got us winning by 10, man. 31-21 in our house. You know what I mean? Monday Night Football, sold out crowd. I think it's like 85-15 Commanders Bears when I was looking. So should be a nice environment, man. And hopefully we can take care of business. I want this one bad, man. Because I know the Chicago fans is running mouth too goddamn much. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
But, and it's more so on Twitter. If I ain't on Twitter, I don't see it. But I'm on Twitter and I see it. So I'm looking forward to this one, man. But 31-21 is my final score for this one. What's yours?
31-27.
31-27.
I think it'll end up being close. Because I like Ben Johnson as a play caller, man. I really do. And it'll come down to that. And I think the trenches.
Yep.
What team's going to be able to dominate in the trenches? You know, I think that's what the game will come down to, in my opinion. But when you got Jaden Daniels, you're always going to have a chance, man. Like, because I really had no business winning that Chargers game. That game probably should have been. It was almost 17-0.
Yep.
But it was a little shaky, and they let him find his foot, and it was lights out.
He took over.
If he's type of guy, you got to put your foot on the gas all game, like the Packers did, how we did, in the championship game. Got to be on. Like even the championship, it was 4 minutes left, and I'm like, yo, they can still come back. I was thinking that even though we knew it was over, I didn't think it was over to my man ran all the way down, the backup running back. That's when I knew it was over. Ever since then, I was like, yo, there's a path for these motherfuckers to come back. So that's one thing you do got going for you, with Jaden Daniels. He'll keep you alive, you know what I mean?
And our offensive line is starting to get healthier, and we're starting to kind of get into it. If we can keep him upright and keep him healthy, man, I don't care. And I'm not sitting there, and this is the thing, like I'm not sitting here saying Jaden Daniels is God, and don't matter who we have at wide receiver, he's going to get him the ball. Because Terry and Noah would definitely, if we had Terry and Noah, I might be calling for a blowout. You know what I mean? Because then I don't think it's anything offensively they can do to mess with us. But I think that the way we have this offense schemed, if we run the ball right and they don't know where it's going and we can't let them get their secondary rolling, then there's going to be some spaces and open areas for him to get the ball, and it's going to carve him up. But we shall see. We shall see.
What's up with Debo? I know he had an injury. I know he's playing, but he had an injury he was nursing. You think he'll be 100% tonight?
I mean, 100, no, but like 80, 90, yeah, because he only has a bruised heel, which is annoying as hell. It's probably a little painful. But it's not something that's going to keep him out. It's not something. He probably be on the injury. He was on the injury report last week with it. He's on the injury report now. But listening to Dan Quinn talk and listening to Debo, it's nothing too serious. They got to put it on there because it is what it is. And they gave him a break the last couple of weeks because he's been so locked in on the offense. He's still doing his walkthroughs and things like that. So it's almost like a mini break on the legs while at the same time making sure that heel gets straight. But it's a bruised heel. I was never worried. I know that the mainstream media was kind of making a little bit of it, but I knew early it was a bruised heel. And he should be fine, man. But we need him. Shit. We need him.
You definitely, you need him. So kind of moving forward. What do you think about the Cowboys yesterday, man? Them motherfuckers, they talked all that shit the other day.
I tell you what.
That's why don't talk shit to your team plays. After your team wins, then you say some shit. Then you got a whole week to let that shit marinate.
They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. Did you walk in that Carolina game thinking, oh, Dallas is going to win? Like I had a feeling, knowing that Carolina's started to kind of form an identity down there where they like to get gritty on defense and they like to run the ball on offense and they will pound the rock, and then they give Bryce Young a couple passes. He's a smart player. They got something brewing down there in Carolina. And I knew that if Dallas went out there with their hands on their ass, celebrating that loss to Philly or celebrating that loss that Philly had on Thursday and thinking they was the shit, they could go in there and get took. And that's exactly what happened. Dak played lights out. Pickens played lights out. And they let them get their shit off, and no one else did. I still think it's going to be a close competitive game against us next week. So I'm not about to sit here and run my mouth too crazy because it's Dallas. Washington always is. But I wasn't surprised, man. That team is who I thought they were. That defense is absolute ass. They had no running game yesterday. Dak is a monster. We clearly see that. I'm not taking nothing away from that dude. But collectively as a team, they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. And they went there and got punched in the mouth. And it won't be the last time. They walked in there thinking that was going to win that game. When you look at their schedule, that was a game that you marked down almost damn near as a guaranteed win because it don't get any easier for them. So they in trouble, man.
What the hell is up with Rico Dowd? Since when did he become that?
2 weeks, bro. Last 2 weeks.
Damn. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah,
hold on. Sorry, hold on.
No, you go. No problem. tuned into the Black Ball Sports Podcast. Go ahead and hit that like button. Share this video. If you're watching for the first time, go ahead and subscribe. But we do this thing every Monday and every Friday.
Yeah.
All right, my cousin's back. Let's work.
Yeah. So yeah, Rico, man, that dude, you went crazy. 200 something y'all, but you could tell he just wanted like his old team.
Yeah.
He wanted to take his old team down, and they did it. I had a feeling they was gonna lose too. Because those are the type of games that the Cowboys lose.
Yep.
They just are.
Yep.
Is CD coming back anytime soon? Do you know?
I seen their owner say that he may come back against us. So
okay.
He's starting to get back to that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a high scoring game between y'all two. Yeah, because particularly, the secondaries are not that good, and I'm not saying nothing about my team. Our secondary is not good either, but the two secondaries aren't that good. So I feel like it's gonna be one of those type of games that you should win. You definitely should win it, but it's an NFC East game.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a couple stops on defense, man, because it's gonna be a little bit of a shootout. And this is my confidence, right? Because I think that we have the pieces in place to have a good secondary. There were people talking about our secondary being top 5 before the year started. And I was like, hold on, let them go out there and prove it. And clearly they're not top 5 right now. But when you look at the pieces, it's like, okay, we're getting smoked by man and our zone is weak as shit. That's scheme. Like we got our between our secondary coordinator, between our defensive coordinator, we got to lock that shit up, man, because when you look at the pieces aren't bad for you to be able to do what you do. We got Mikey in the slot. We got Trey Amos on one side. They're doing a great job. You cannot tell me Marshawn is the only person that's a considerable liability to that secondary. Is he the Marshawn of old? Hell no. But he's definitely not a wash to where we get blown away like that. Now our safeties, us losing Will Harris a couple weeks ago and going to IR, that hurt us a lot. That hurt us in that Atlanta game. That hurt us a little bit last week. And then our linebackers being as slow as they are, we got some young linebackers that we have to start getting into the game to start matching up with some of these athletic-ass running backs, because that's where they start getting us up to seeing with the tight ends, up to seeing with the running backs. They smoking our linebackers. So I think that when you look at their secondary, we're going to get cooked. Dallas is going to get us either because Dak is a master in zone. And if we play man, goddamn. But I'm just hoping that we can get at least 2 or 3 stops, because I don't think they can stop our offense. But that's a couple of days away, so we'll talk about that, I'm guessing, later in the week.
Yeah, for sure. That's and what that was that a Monday night game too, or
no? That's Sunday at 4:15. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that'd be a good one to watch, depending on what we do against Minnesota. Because I probably won't even watch it if we lose that fucking game. I won't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
That's how it be. That's why I hate losing, because I be wanting to watch ball. But if we lose that one, I ain't watching shit.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? But speaking of, let's move to the Eagles, man. Za'darius Smith fucking retires today, which is the craziest thing with an already slim, defensive end. We don't have nobody right now. Nolan Smith is hurt. And I fear that unless we make some type of a trade or something, some disgruntled DN somewhere, this is what we're going to be rocking with this year. And it's bad. Now, on the offseason, we could definitely retool, do our thing, and grab somebody, maybe draft somebody. But right now, it's not looking good. So that's I'm surprised, but I'm not. At the end, it was a play. Now, I didn't think he was going to retire, but I seen a play against Bo Nix where, like, Bo Nix it was like a dash to, like, the marker. And it's like he was just jogging to get there. It's Za'darius. I'm like, his niggas don't want it no more. You know what I mean? Not to say he's still not a good player, but I seen it. I'm like, if that was anybody else, Nolan or something, they would have at least got to him. He may have still got the first down, but he was just like, fuck it, he gonna get it anyway. So he said that had nothing to do with the team. So we'll take him for his word, and that is what it is, man. So what'd you think when you seen that?
It's a chair shot in the back to y'all. It's a chair shot because you didn't pick him up. You didn't pick him up with the assumption that he would just go ahead and retire. You needed him. That's why y'all picked him up. And I was low key. When we were in the market for DN, I was like, damn, I want Za'Darius Smith. I did. When he was looking at, it was between him, it was between Javian Clowney and then Von Miller. I'm like, if you give me the pick out of them 3, give me Za'Darius. You know what I mean? He did his thing in Cleveland last year. He helped out Detroit, do they think of help getting the 1 seed. He still has some juice left. And when I seen him go to y'all, I'm like, damn, now is it a world beater? No, but can he set the edge and go after the quarterback? Hell yeah. So I was like, okay, that's a nice little upgrade for y'all. Something y'all needed. That's why y'all picked him up. So for that to happen mid-season, I'm sure it was a little bit of a surprise to Howie. You know what I mean? I don't think he would have picked him up thinking that he was about to retire 6 games in. But that's a chair shot, man. Ain't no way else to put it. That was a chair shot. It sucks. And that's a hole there. You know what I mean? But he has to do what he has to do. If his body shut down or whatever his reason it is what it is. But I know if he was with me or us on our team, we picked him and he did that 5 games in, or Von did that, I'd be fucking pissed. What do you do? We needed you, bro. What are you doing? But hey, man,
I think it has a lot to do with death, because I think the low started getting to him because he probably didn't figure he's gonna come in and be like the man.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. So if guys was dry, he's like, man, I can't do this shit no more.
Yeah, his body didn't.
Maybe that could be, maybe, but because he's supposed to be just like a, maybe 10, 15 snaps a game, rush the passer. Now you like a full-time starter. Who knows? He has his own personal reasons, but we got to move forward. We got to stop acting though like outside of the season, how we can make magic, but inside of the season, it's very limited. Like you're at the whim of what other teams want to do. If they want to trade, nobody's sitting out there that's going to get anything that's at home because they're at home for a reason. So it might be something we're gonna have to just deal with, and hopefully we get some type of production from these guys that nobody ever heard of. But we'll have to see, man.
Let me ask you this. There is one DN out in Cincinnati that's a little disgruntled. That's on a 1-year deal that could be up for a trade block, and that's Trey Henderson. Do you see you guys possibly trading for him in season?
I mean, if the price is right, well, he wants a lot of money.
He wants to get paid.
Yeah, he wants to get paid, and I don't think that's a move. Like, I wouldn't do it. I'm gonna ride what I got, get Nolan back, and you can't win them all. You know what I mean? You can't win them every year. It's gonna be a time where you're gonna suffer for a year or two, and you got to rebuild. One thing I'm confident about though is that if this is the year, I feel like we could bounce right back and be a contender again because we still got a lot of good players. We got to add another cornerback too. We got to add some edge rushers, maybe another run stuff and D tackle, and do whatever we're gonna do on offense. So we ain't still not that far off if we got to take 1 year down. The guys that we lost were big pieces.
Yeah,
very big pieces, and we couldn't afford them. People keep saying that we couldn't afford Milton. If we get Milton, then we don't get Carter. I mean, if we get Sweat, then we probably don't get Cooper or Quinion.
Everybody, all people y'all drafted too, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's like I would love to have Sweat here. I love Sweat, even though he was dragging around one knee. He got like 5 sacks this year. He's still one of the best pass rushers. So what it is, man. But we got to keep fighting. That's all.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of wide receivers out right now, and I know a lot of our fan base like, go get Chris Olave, I don't want to see us make a trade at all unless we giving up somebody, and I don't even see that happening. Like I don't see us being very active in this trade deadline at all. You know what I mean? We gave up capital for Laramie Tunsil, gave up capital for Marshawn last year, we gave up capital for Debo, and I'm not mad at Laramie Tunsil, I'm not mad at Debo. Marshawn still remains to be seen as of right now. If you ask me, that was a loss, but you cannot give up any more draft capital for a wide receiver. Let's start building through the draft as well. I mean, we got our good free agent pieces and things like that. But I'm not just some of these fans are just crazy. You're just willing up to give up the whole goddamn boat. You don't care if you got a draft pick in the world just to get a player and you see a headline from Adam Schefter about your team on Twitter, man. It's crazy, man. Like, do we need wide receiver help? Hell yeah. Am I willing to give up a pick for any of them? Hell no. Nope. Right.
For sure, man. Definitely. So that is what it is, man. We're gonna what time does that Bills game come on? Is it 6 or 7?
7, I think. We got 8:15, so I think like 7:15 that one come on.
Oh, see, why are they stacking it like that? I thought it was like a 3 hours difference.
I think it's stupid.
Yeah, it's like
I would not be like 5 o'clock game, bro. Hell yeah, nah. They got a NFL countdown on right now, but I ain't seeing none of that shit. I'm about to lock into my pregame and watching our shit.
Right, for sure, man. So hold on real quick.
You good?
Show we transition. Boom. All right, so let's talk about this. I'm gonna play this. I can't play videos on this joint, so I'm gonna play this joint by Smack.
Okay.
URL real quick. Tell me if you can hear it.
Niggas hating.
Gotcha.
I mean, I just don't want nobody to eat or not. Nah, none of that. I'm just saying, like, from how this shit was designed to where it's at right now is just too crazy. It's too crazy. There's fucking 4 rap battle events going on this weekend alone. 4 different rap battle events going on this weekend alone. 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. There's one even on a Friday. It's a Friday event. Oh, my nigga Billy. What up? Yo, what's up? Yo, hold on. Let me see if I can bring you in though. Yeah, so I know how to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? No, for real. Like I've been taking all the shots for years and absorbing them, like eating them shits. Like nah, bing. But I'm not. I'm just talking to see like. Cause you know, at the end of the day, I really care for this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas got years invested into this shit. You built this shit brick by brick. Nah, don't say that because you're not taking nobody else's shit. You know what I'm saying? We went from the mud, from the dirt. That's your platform. I know, but niggas got the brick by brick logo. Niggas got the brick by brick logo. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But you know what? Yo, Bill. The real know what it is, though. The real know what it is. You know what I mean? That's me. At the end of the day, I believe that it's doing more harm than good. I feel like there's no more excitement. You know what I mean? When you got 4 different pay-per-views in one weekend, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you're confusing the customers. You're confusing the, you know what I mean? They don't know what the fuck is going on. There's no respect in this shit. Like, yo, if a nigga got a joint, yo, let that nigga bang out for that motherfucking weekend. Let that nigga that entity get what the fuck they've been building and working on for 2 months to put together. You know what I'm saying? Let's have respect.
Almost there.
Let's have respect. You know what I'm saying? When everybody is running and trying to gun at the same fucking weekend, yo, what the fuck is really going on? You understand what I'm saying? How the fuck is anybody gonna fucking recoup anything from 4 different entities trying to motherfucking do a fucking pay-per-view for niggas to buy what the fuck they invest their money in, putting on for the fucking culture in the same fucking weekend, Bill? That shit is confusing. I didn't even know it was 4 shits going on. Yeah. I'm just saying though, like I'm not a promoter, so I'm not promoting nobody's shit. I'm just saying, I'm just reading the board and what the fuck is going on in the culture, Bill. You understand what I'm saying? Like for real.
So what's your thoughts on that, man? That's obviously Smack, saying he don't like the way that it's oversaturation of shows are going on in one weekend. It's a lot of different. He never really talked about the rap battle leagues, how many of them it is now, but something he started, but like too many shows. And what's your thoughts about that?
We've been watching the fall of hip hop culture for some years now. You know what I mean? And this is just another piece of it. And what I mean by that is we come into a culture where we completely annihilated the art of hip hop. You know what I mean? We let anybody do it. We let anybody come in here and disrespect it. We allow any artist, whether talented or not, to come in there and create a buzz. We allow criminals to rap on tracks and outline their whole entire murder plot or what they've done. And you got women and doing the most thottish and horrible shit and arguing over who had 245,000 sales in a week or who had this and that. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift is getting 3 million in a fucking week and smoking everybody. It's just like, man. And then, I mean, when you talk about even the podcast game and what we've been dealing with all these years, it's just it's a culture where I have to stunt on the next N word. I have to stun on the next B word. There cannot be a community. There cannot be an environment where we all thrive and shine together. If I'm not number one, you're number nothing. If you're not one, you're nothing. If you're not the best, you're nothing. I'm going to be better than you in this. I'm going to be better than you in that. And instead of people looking at URL or whoever else, whatever league may have been out there and was hot and feeding that and feeding the coaches so that they can build something dope, nah, I could be better than that. So I'm going to do better than that. It's just no different than motherfuckers watching us throughout the years, whether we was in grandma and grandpa's dining room or we was in one of our studios or whether we were doing it virtual. People didn't want to go, you know what? Them brothers really for the culture. They doing something. Let me put into them. Let me nurture that flower and watch it grow into something great. No, I could be better than them niggas. So you just completely watered down everything, completely watered down the entire building that you built, and eventually water collapses it. And this is what's happening. It's not just in rap battles, it's not just in podcasts, it's in the music, it's in the culture and everything. We're watching hip-hop burn to the ground, and this is just another part of it. Niggas just want to outdo other niggas, and it's sad.
Yeah, and even talking like it's like 50 million podcasts now. Like every artist now, I saw Keke Palmer with a podcast.
Yep.
And the shit that fucking sucks. I'm gonna be 100 with you. It's horrible. You can look at the comments. People just doing it now because they get a bag. How many people started podcasts, right? I know this is about battle rap, but it all connects because you connected it, right?
Yep.
How many people have you seen done it and they out of here because the budget ran out? Mm-hmm. People just do it. So the artists now saying, man, F hip-hop, F music, I'm gonna jump in the podcast game. Instead of it being an ecosystem where we all can eat. Now the smallest of small want to know if you got a budget. What budget? Nigga, I'm putting you in front of hundreds of thousands of people. That's the budget.
Yep.
How do I recoup? What if the interview flop? You just get the money, but I spent all these years building up this platform, right? So it's one hand wash the other. Then you don't even share the interview.
Nope.
That's not how it's supposed to be, bro. It's supposed to be one hand wash the other. So the game, you know, when you talk about even the battle rap, the same type of thing. 1,000,001 platforms now. Everybody want to do a battle on the same weekend. How can you watch 4 of them in the same weekend? Well, how you gonna spend $50 here for it? That's just $20 in a weekend. Like he's saying, let this shit ride. Let him eat over here. Let this person eat over here. When URL comes, we'll eat over here. Now everybody want to do it, and it's taken away, you know, from the culture. And it might seem like it's a good thing for the people that's getting the checks, but eventually it's going to water it down so much, ain't gonna be no more checks to pass out because nobody's gonna be buying these pay-per-views because there's too many of them in a weekend to be able to afford that shit.
Yep. Let
it be easy to block Captain versus this person, or you know, when Sue Surf come home, he go against this person, and spread this shit out. Let everybody. I don't care about the saturation, but you all can't do it at the same time. And he's the originator talking about it. I can't go against it. He's the originator, and he see it's like he probably sitting back like, damn, another clone. Damn, another clone. Damn, another clone. Oh, they ain't gonna give my respect. They're gonna steal this from me. They're gonna, oh, okay, I see. You can see it, even though he's sitting in the penthouse. You know what I mean? In New York, overlooking the city, wherever he's living straight. But it's still like, God damn, don't disrespect the culture. And that's just what it is. The culture is being disrespected at an all-time high, you know, right now, because it don't matter no more. Anybody with a budget, anybody with money can now be, you know, relevant. And it's whack to me.
It's super whack. And he wasn't even talking about eliminating any leagues or anything like that. He's just like, yo, bro, stop stepping on one another's toes. Nobody can eat if we all trying to sit there and eat and trying to eat more than another. How the fuck anybody gonna eat if we trying to eat more than another? And that's the thing, man. And I mean, even on a spiritual and a religious level, greed, man, that's a deadly sin. And we walk and move in so much fucking greed, especially in hip hop. It runs hip hop, greed. And I mean, eventually everybody gonna starve.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Now speaking of that, speaking of that, this your new artist that Timbaland, he fully unveiled it. The song is out right now called Glitch Pulse. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it and watch some of it, but the person looks real as hell. But the industry is totally outraged. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of artists have spoken out. A lot of people saying hip hop is over. Now, this is what Timbaland pretty much says, right? He said, this isn't about replacing artists. It's about expanding creativity and exploring new sounds to help with technology. Now, Glitch Pulse blends Timberland's signature bounce with futuristic sound design, pairing organic rhythm with AI generated melodies. Now, when you watch the video, I mean, it's an AI artist. He's standing right next to him. She looks like a real person. But like I said, the industry is like, they don't like it because it's not. I can't even say it's not true art form. But what's your thoughts on it, though? I mean, we talked about it before, but now the video is out. It's moving, and Timberland is behind this. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I have a huge problem with it. I never liked it from the beginning, and it seems like it's getting much, much worse. Now, make no mistake, the industry doesn't like it for its reasons, and I don't like it for a whole different set of reasons. The industry doesn't like it because there's no real way of controlling it. There's no way of controlling it. Anybody with some AI can create something and start doing things, and the labels can't control that. It's uncontrollable. So it's volatile. They don't have a hand in it. Therefore, they're going to sit back and cry and say, this isn't good for the industry. But it isn't good for the industry. And it's not good for the industry because Timberland saying that you're trying to blend your sound with this and that. Yeah, but you're doing it and you're kind of masking it as if this is a real person. You're not doing it as if it's a image or some type of illustration or some type of animation or something like that to where you're creating music. You're trying to push this off as a real person. And I'm sure there's laws and excuse me, legislation in place. I'm sure there is that where you can't sit back and act as if this is an AI and it really is. Maybe there is or maybe there isn't. That's why he's out there actually saying that it's AI, because if there wasn't something in that or wasn't something in place, would he even admit that it was AI? And that's the thing. Like, we got so much shit out here. We don't know what's real and what's fake. And it's kind of blurring the lines of reality versus, you know what I mean, virtual reality. And it's dangerous, man. I was never with it. I know a lot of his contemporaries weren't with it. I know that I seen an interview between young Guru and him, where Guru was getting his ass about it, man. And it's something about stripping away the human element. How far is this going to go? And I mean, obviously he's trying to take it to whole different levels. I'm never going to be for it. I'm always going to be against it. I don't care how dope and good the music sounds, because I'm sure it's going to be dope as hell. I'm just never for it. I'm not for AI actors. I'm not for AI music. I'm not for something fake to replace our art. I think the human element to art is what makes it beautiful, what makes it want to be digestible. So I'm not with it, bro, at all.
Right. And you talk about some of these artists, man. We were just talking about Mustard the other day, and they not like us. How that's going to feed families. That's going to feed generations, probably. That song. Like, so you know, it's a real human being that sits down with the creative process, that they turn something into nothing and they can live off of it, and it helps them for generations to survive. I mean, to me, that's playing God right there. That's the art form. So I don't support it either, simply because of that. Now, again, you're gonna be able to make it sound good. You're gonna be able to make it, you know, probably better than a lot of artists out there. But at the end of the day, what's the end game to it? Is it going to replace this? Is it going to replace that? I feel like it is. I feel like at a point in time, like, shit, why even make real music anymore? It'd be overran by AI artists soon. You're going to see it. Every company, wait till Universal gets their hands on it, and other companies, if they don't already have their hands in it, they're going to start saying, man, why we need to sign anybody anymore? Right. We could just make a virtual artist say what we wanted to say, do what we wanted to do, and collect all the fucking royalties off of it. So we ain't got to pay no human beings no more. This is AI. This is AI taking over your job. Same thing. We don't need you no more. We have an automatic checkout system, right? We don't need to have cashiers. It's the same damn thing, in my opinion. And we might not see it now, but in the future, it's going to become more and more prevalent, man. So it's dangerous. Even though it's innovative in a way by Timberland, I think this is the precedent that is set is dangerous as hell.
Yeah, because humans don't have limits, and we don't know when to cap something. We don't know how to enjoy something without taking it to another level, another level, another level, another level, another level. I mean, it's what makes us great. It's what makes us the people that destroy this earth. You know what I mean? We have no limit to where we want to go, and I will never be for it. I mean, I get the creativity. I appreciate the creativity, but to replace it with the human element, even like you said, grocery stores, driving, all of this shit, I'm just not for it, man. And eventually, I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime, but in our grandkids' lifetime, they're going to be living in a whole different world, man. A whole different world.
Yeah. I want to talk about this with you, man. So if you didn't know, remember Ali, man, friend of the show. Had him on numerous times in the past. He was taking Nelly. He was suing Nelly, you know, for over $50 million, claiming that him and other writers were cut out of their share of royalties from the 2000 debut of Country Grammar, which spent 5 weeks at #1 on the Billboard top 200. Well, he took a major loss, man, in the federal court. The judge, right, recommended also that Nelly be reimbursed for the legal fees that were racked up. Now, they said, here's what the judge said, right? They said it should have been patently obvious to Ali's attorneys that his copyright ownership claim was time barred after being placed on notice that the case stood no chance of success. Ali did not withdraw his complaint. Instead, his attorneys doubled down. So he lost his case, and now he has to pay Nelly's lawyer fees. Now, there's no specific amount yet, but I'm sure it's going to be an upward of hundreds of thousands. Because if people do not know, copyright was the most expensive form of litigation out there. So I'm guaranteeing you, it might be close to $1 million that Nelly spent. You're talking about a year or more worth of attorney filing. A phone call might cost $300. I mean, it gets crazy, bro. So, man, what do you think about this, man? And we know that Ali has had his gripes. Yeah. He's been very open and public with them. I don't know if we talked about him.
We have
on our interviews. I can't remember if we did or not, but it don't look good, man. You lost the case. Now you got to spend and pay his lawyer fees. And Nelly is being ruthless, 100% ruthless. Like, fuck it. Ain't like nothing's giving you a break. He gonna say, yeah, make him pay it.
I mean, because bridges were burned, bro. Like bridges were burned, and there were things that were said and things that were done that there is no coming back from. And I'm not comparing this to a Dame Dash and Jay-Z, because I'm not looking at Ali as Dame, and I'm not looking at Nelly as Jay-Z by any stretch of the imagination. But I give them to a comparison to where it's like, once things are said or once bridges are burned at that level, there is no coming back from that. And now there was, I don't know if they were trying to have conversations had. I know them two have their falling out and they've had their disagreements over the years. But once we get into the court system and once you got me spending money from your bullshit, oh yeah, eventually if I get it my way, you will be paying all of that as well. And fuck the friends and fuck all that other shit. We way past that. Now, when we've had Ali on the show, we talked about it numerous times. We've had him on, we've had K1 on, we've had Murphy Leon, and they've all said that Ali was instrumental and pivotal in creating and getting them together and kind of being that big brother, being that foundation to make sure shit got done. So we're not going to sit back and take away from his contribution to the group, but you also cannot sit back for 1 second and act like the star power of Nelly didn't push that engine crazy. I don't know who wrote Country Grammar and who didn't, but I know if it wasn't Nelly on that John, it may not have gone as far as it's gone. You said, go ahead.
Let me say this real quick, not interrupt your thought process.
You good, bro. You good.
During this lawsuit, Murphy Lee, K1, and City Spud quickly dropped out, saying they didn't authorize the suit. Ali continued.
Thank you for saying that, because then it kind of goes to, you're going to charge this man for $50 million. When I hear $50 million, first off, I think that number is it's kind of outrageous. It's almost like you grab and you reach it for something. You do this 20 some odd years later. And it almost seems like everybody was kind of cool with the motion, with the exception of Ali. Everybody was cool and thinking that everything was good and felt like everything was moving right, with the exception of Ali. And some things you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. You know what I mean? And you took this a little too far, knowing that, one, there could be a situation where you do lose this. You're trying to take 50 million from him. And my biggest question is, and I rock with Ali. You know what I mean? We always have, we always will. And if he wants to come on here and talk about it and kind of devil's advocate, anything we saying, please do. But it almost seems like the attention, it almost seemed like the notoriety, the cameras kind of put a battery in his back a little bit when it came to this, because he started getting a lot of motion from talking about this situation with Nelly. It seemed like now with the $50 million lawsuit, the motion kind of just got a little more, a little more that he can chew, man. So I don't want to see anything bad happen to either one of them. Brother situation. But if Nelly is looking to get his lawyer piece paid for, that's his, he's well within his right to do so. And if Ali got to do it, then he got to take that L. That is what it is, man. But if you'd have asked me, I'd have told you, probably would have ended up like this, just like this. So yeah. I don't get it, man.
And the problem is he waited too long.
Right.
And it possibly, I'll say this, because they say it's time barred. So there's a possibility maybe he did get cut out of credits, but the time is up on that. Did you find out this late? Why did you wait? Will be the question I will ask him. And when did you find out? And when you found out that you couldn't continue with the case, when the judge told you that, who in their right mind would continue? When the judge is telling you, look, by law, there's nothing we're going to do. You're going to lose. Why would you keep spending money? Why would you make Nelly keep spending money to defend this when there's no way you can win it? That's at that point, and that's when you have to drop out and count your losses. But you continued on, and not only did you accumulate fees for yourself, you accumulated more fees for Nelly, up whatever 100, probably close to $1 million. Probably close to $1 million. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And when you're talking about these cases, you're not just coming in there. You got to have some type of proof or something.
Right.
Where was it? And it didn't matter because time was up.
If the time was up, it don't matter.
Right.
And at that point, you're wasting everybody's time, which pisses people off even more. So it's like,
to the court, the government, they gotta pay the judges and the lawyers and whoever's in there, the court reporters to go in there. So it's rough. When I seen it, I'm like, wow, this is it's sad because he's always been very open and vocal coming on the show. All of them have. We had never got Nelly.
Right.
You know what I mean? But everybody else around the damn group pretty much to come through. So
and it was all cool as hell, all of them. So
yeah, that's a fact.
All cool as hell.
Yeah. And one last thing, did you see the Rise and Grind morning show is not going to be on Power 99? The Breakfast Club is going to now be played.
What?
Yeah, the Breakfast Club. Yep, the Rise and Grind morning show. I don't know what's going to exactly happen. I don't know if they're done, but I listened to them for years, bro.
Yeah, I haven't listened to them in a long time, but that was definitely a staple of my childhood, man. And Mikey Dread and Q Deezy and Pooch, man. I know they was a little bit on the night show, but damn, I don't like that.
Me neither.
I don't like that, man. I think that local radio stations are still very important. You know what I mean? I'm not into just having a syndicated radio show for everybody to listen to, because when you have your radio stations that are local to you, they are like the ears and the voice of the culture that you're listening to. You know what I mean? And although radio is not as where it used to be, it's still very important and very popular, man. And I'm just not with that. You know what I mean? It was a time before phones and all this shit that you would turn on Power 99 or 96.1, or when you got closer to New York, 97.1 or whatever you were at, to listen to those personalities and listen to them deliver you your music. So, man, that's a little bit of a era gone, man. That's sad to hear, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in Philly, you want to hear about what's going on in Philly. You want people that's in the city, you know what I mean, talking about what's going on in the city, their experiences, talking about the local teams and what's going on. Like, we missed that shit. If you're in Philadelphia, close to Philadelphia area, about the Eagles, the Sixers, the Flyers. Same thing if you go through DC. They got their personalities, Baltimore, Orlando. Like, remember we used to drive down south and you hit all these different radio stations?
Yeah.
And you get to find out what's going on in the city, what parties is going. It was just so much more. Or they would play the local artists and stuff like that. Like, that shit, like, I get it. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. Y'all doing your thing. This girl, Lona Rose, is from Delaware, but that ain't the same, bro. This has been, we're talking about over 30, Mikey Dread, but with them for over 30 years, bro.
Yeah. I know. That's my whole fucking childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. That's crazy. And it's like, it ain't no.
Go ahead.
No, you go. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead. You got it.
No, it's no disrespect to the Breakfast Club, no disrespect to any of the personalities. I know they didn't make the call. You know what I mean? I just don't like the fact that you got a syndicated radio show going through every channel. They're not experiencing everything. Like, when you wake up in the morning, listen to the radio, you wake up, or you, like you said, you just watch the game or you watch the show and you know they about to go talking about that shit. You go and look forward to listening to them talk about that shit. That was the nostalgia of radio, whether you're going to work or school or whatever. And now that's kind of being eliminated. I don't know who was in charge of that, but I hope they reconsider. And like I said, it's no diss on the Breakfast Club or nothing, but they should not be the voice of everybody in the morning. Like, I just don't agree with that.
Right. You want to hear them niggas go on the radio? I mean, go on YouTube. We can hear y'all all damn day. You know what I mean? Sitting to hear you on the radio going through you know what I mean, Philly, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, but yeah, man, another great episode. Like I said, if you join in on the Black Ball Sports podcast, we do record the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast right on the back, so you kind of get a treat Channel's growing slowly but steadily, almost at 200 and something subscribers. So it's a grind, but we still pushing it. So make sure you guys come over and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna sit back and watch some football real soon, man. And we'll be back Friday to recap the game and talk about the upcoming games for next weekend. So that's your brother Sam, man. I'm your brother Oh God, man. We out of here, man. Peace.
Raise hell. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Cool.